Yan. So, we have now refreshed our ideas pagdating ng ating thermodynamics. And then let's go to the conservation of energy. According to the second law na meron tayo. Second law ba hindi? Parang first law of thermodynamics. Conservation of energy after zeroth law. And this one. Yeah. For energy forms, energy and energy forms. Pagdating na engineering, energy is something that appears in various forms. Tama nga naman. Pero let us define, ano ba yung energy na yan? Tignan nyo. Nakita nyo ba ito energy na yan? Yan. Energy. Sabi nila sa cartoons that it's chakra. Ayun naman, energy. Energy that could withstand, anything. Yan. Equal effort. Yan. That is energy. Pero what is energy? What really is energy? Balik tayo dito. We postulate that is something inherent in all matter. Yes. A matter na hindi gumagalaw has an energy. A matter that moves has an energy. Anything that moves, anything that is in rest. Some say that energy is the capacity to work. That is correct. What is work first? Yung work daw is equal to energy. Okay? But work, in definition, is the force you apply in a certain distance. That is true. Nagiging energy lang yan if you input a certain something. Ano ba yung input certain something na yun within a given distance? That is force. Nagiging energy lang yan kapag kino-convert na natin. The amount of work you put up in a certain thing is energy. Yan. Exert a force to a distance. Ayun yun, force distance. But it is easy to point to systems that have energy. Paano yung hindi gumalaw? Diba? At rest. May contained energy ba yun? Could be. Okay? Yet, have zero capacity to work. Wala siyang capacity to work. Okay? Paano yun, sir? Now, energy may however be defined operationally. Energy forms are generally divided into two. Yung stored energy. Ano ba yung stored energy? Okay? Define natin. Which is a property of a system such as potential energy and kinetic energy and molecular energy. B. Transitional energy such as heat and work. Yung pwede mo i-convert. The unit for energy is called joule. Joule. Yan. Joule. Ano pa? Calorie. Ano pa? BTU. Ano ba yung conversion yan, sir? Okay, ganito yan. 1.055 kilojoule is equal to 1 BTU. Ano pa, sir, yung conversion yan? Hanapin natin yung conversion, sir. I think 4.187 kilojoule is equal to 1 kilocalorie. 4.187 kilojoule equal to 1 kcal. Let us check. Okay, yan yun. Kilojoule is equal to 1 kilocalorie. That is the conversion. That is energy. Or, in Newton meter, 1 kilojoule is 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton meter. Equal din yan saan? 1 BTU. 1 BTU. Yung conversion unit na energy equal to 778. Ano yan? Feet pound. Feet pound. Conversion units na energy. Yan. Now, what is potential energy? Sinabi nga naman yung tawag dyan, contained energy. A non-moving body in a certain elevation or height contains a stored energy. And that is called potential energy. Yan. Energy stored in a system as a result of its position. Ano ba yung position na yon? Nasa taas or nasa baba? In the Earth's gravitational field. Ano ba yung potential energy? The potential energy of a system is defined as yung mass niya times the gravitational acceleration multiplied to its position or the height. Okay. So that is potential energy. Mass, gravity, and h divided by k, the proportionality constant. Pero mostly ito na lang ang ginagamit, mgh or mgz. Z. Okay. Consider a body of mass m. Okay? Parang, di ba ang sabi dito that energy is equal to, ano, force times distance. Eh, yung force mo is in form of weight. And your distance is in form of the height. Kaya i-translate natin dito as potential energy. Ayun lang yung potential energy. Now, ano nga ba yung, meron kang, ayan, the change in, the change in height. So, delta PE is equal to mg tapos delta H. Ano ba yan? mg H2 minus H1. From the top to bottom. K is proportionality constant. Next one. Kinetic energy. Ngayon, kapag meron kang bagay na hinulog from the top, pagdating dito sa baba, malaglag yan. Yung potential energy mo dito will be translated na to kinetic energy hitting the ground. Ayan. From here up to here, kinetic energy will now become, mv squared over 2g. That is kinetic energy. Ay, hindi pala. 1 half mv squared. 1 half mv. Ayun. mv squared over 2. Saan napunta yung g? Kasi mass, bakit naging 2g? Kasi mass is equal to weight over gravity. Ganun yun sa English eh. So, Ke kapag ginawa mong ganito, W V squared over 2G. Ayun yun. Weight. Kapag binigay yung weight. Pero commonly, mass lang naman binibigay dyan. Ayun yun. Okay? So, from mgh, nawalan ka na ng height, naging kinetic energy. So, the kinetic gain, okay, pag nag-move na yung non-moving body mo or a free-falling body, dun sa bottom, will gain kinetic energy. Eh sir, paano naman kapag hinagis ko siya pataas? Pag hinagis mo naman siya pataas, ganito. From here, meron kang contained potential energy. Hagis mo ng pataas. Ganun pa rin. Nag-exert ka dito ng velocity 1, magkakaroon ka ng velocity 0 dyan. Ngayon, ano magiging dito? Kinetic energy mo. O, kinetic energy mo dito, 0. Ang potential energy mo dito, maximum. Dito, ang potential energy mo dito, maliit yung height niya or nasa baba, minimum. Ang kinetic energy mo dito, maximum. Okay? Ganun lang yung representation niya. Ayan. From the top of the hill, you have a ball. And at the top of the hill, the potential energy of the ball is at maximum. Pushing the ball downward will make the potential energy at minimum. Now, when pushing the ball, the kinetic energy here is at minimum. And habang bumababa siya, ang kinetic energy mo has a gain. Great gain. Ngayon, the kinetic energy can be maximum. Let us check dito sa ating pendulum. This is the best representation for the kinetic potential translation. Now, at the top, meron ka ditong height kasi. Ayan. This is the maximum height. Height 2, height 1. Ngayon, from here at the top, the potential energy is at maximum. And slowly, habang bumababa siya, the kinetic gain is slowly getting to maximum. Now, at a certain point, the potential energy can be equal to your kinetic energy at certain point. Pero pagdating ng lowest and highest, magkaiba na yan. The kinetic gain and potential gain will differ from one another. That is the best representation, itong pendulum. Okay? Now, at this point, yung kinetic energy mo, m, g, h, will be equal to the kinetic energy. That is v squared, mv squared over 2. And in order for you to know what is the velocity or the height of anything, you divide it simply by ito. So the velocity of your system here is v squared equal to 2gh. Yan, 2gh. In order for you to find the velocity, kunin mo lang yung kanyang square root. So v equal to square root ng 2gh. At in order for you to know the height at a given speed, ito lang gagawin mo. Speed of a free falling body equal to v squared over 2g. Yun lang yung dalawang formula. You should always remember this. Now, dun sa mga stored energy, meron pa tayong internal energy. Internal energy is the energy stored within a body or its substance by the activity and configuration of its molecules. That is, and the vibration of the atoms within the molecule. That is internal energy or U. Ang specific, tandaan nyo ang specific energy, laging ganitong unit, U equal to, maliit yan, maliit na letter. So that is kilojoule per kilogram. Or, ano yan? BTU per pound. Paano pag energy mismo? Pag sinabing energy, hindi specific energy. Pag sinabing energy, then ang mismong sukat niya is kilojoule or BTU. Or feet pound, yan. Kailangan nyo yung mga conversion Tapos, pagdating ng heat, what is heat? What is heat? Heat is the energy in transit on one or the move. Heat is energy in transit or laging gumagalaw on the move. It is the energy transferred between a system and its surrounding. So, pwedeng by convection, conduction, radiation. A burning fire, yan, meron kang radiation, so R. Pwede rin yung convection, yung around dito sa hangin, convection. Conduction, kapag ng metal dyan, naglagay ka ng metal, hawakan mo yung dulo, the heat will flow through the metal. Yun ang tawag sa conduction. Sa barbecue, paano naluluto ang barbecue? Number 1, by radiation. Number 2, by conduction. Yung mga grill marks, conduction sa grills. Number 3, convection, yung air around it dun sa smoke. Ito naman, ano naman to? Yung kettle, ganun pa rin. Meron kang radiation, yung init ng kettle. Conduction, yung init ng iyong fire that is converted pagdating dito sa metal lid ng iyong kettle. Steam, convection. Yan. So, that is heat. The sign of the convention of heat, yan pinaliwanag ko kanina. So, if heat is added to the system, additive. If heat is received by the system, negative. The sign convention of heat. Yan. Received by the system, and negative if the heat is rejected by the system. Naliwanag ko na kanina. Ngayon naman, heat that causes the change in temperature of a substance is called sensible heat. Sensible. Ano ba yung sensible heat? Paliwanag nga natin. Heat that causes a change in the temperature of the substance is called sensible heat. So, kapag nagbago lang yung temperature niya from temperature initial to temperature final, without even changing, no phase change. Ano ba yan? No phase change. Yan ang insensible. Ay, no, phase change. Ibig sabihin, yung water at 20 degrees, change mo lang ng water pa rin into 40 degrees. That is sensible. Okay? Kapag ang ice mo, ice cube, kunwari ice, ayan, ice, at 0 degrees, naging ice pa rin siya, ice, at negative 7 degrees. That is, kapag hindi nagbago ang phase, this is liquid to liquid, solid to solid, hindi sila nagpalit ng nagpalit ng phase or ng state ng matter, that is sensible heat. Only the change in temperature. Paano naman, sir? Kapag nag-change ang phase, ibig sabihin, ganito, yung water mo, change into at 100 degrees Celsius water, nag-change yan to vapor at 100 degrees. Okay? Celsius. That is latent heat ang tawag dyan. Kapag naman yung tubig mo, 0 degrees water. 0 degrees water. Nag-change ng phase. 0 degrees ice. 0 degrees ice. Ibig sabihin, that is latent. You have a change in phase. That is latent heat. Okay? Remember that. Flow work and flow energy. Flow work or flow energy is a special form of energy that is significant for flow systems. It is the work done in pushing a fluid across a boundary, usually into or out a system. Paano yan, sir? Hindi ko alam yan. Hindi, ganito lang yan. Pushing a fluid, ibig sabihin, you have a volume of a certain fluid na will apply, work. So, yun. Ayan. So, ito yung iyong system. Now, you have a cross-sectional area for pipe 1 and then the flow pipe 2. Mag-i-introduce ka ng force. That force is equal to your pressure times the area. Okay? Diba? Sabi ko that pressure is equal to force over area. Yung ating mga unang lessons. Now, yung volume, paano makikita yung volume na papasukan niya dito? Now, the volume is equal to, kung cylinder yan, the area, cross-sectional area, times the length. Ayan. So, yung workflow mo, the work is equal to force times distance. But force is equal to pressure times the area. Now, the work done on the flow will be equal to P, or the pressure area times L. But you can see that area times L is equal to your volume. So therefore, the flow work is the pressure multiplied by the volume of the flow. So flow work is greatly affected with the value of your pressure and the volume of the fluid. So the change in the flow work is equal to yung the initial or the final pressure multiplied by the final volume minus initial pressure times multiplied to the initial volume. That is the derivation of your flow work. Okay. Kapag may flow, okay? Kapag may flow. Non-flow, how about non-flow? Consider a piston cylinder arrangement. Closed system yan, okay? So, iisang kino-contain mo lang na gas. Dito, pag flow work, ibig sabihin, wala kang hindi sarado yung system mo. Freely flowing. Paano naman pag piston and cylinder? Yung piston mo and cylinder, constant lang naman ang volume na nandun sa loob ng cylinder mo. Kaya na kino-compress mo doon is a fluid, gas, a compressible fluid, na kung saan, when you apply force to the cylinders or the piston, i-compress niya yung gas na yon into a certain volume. And, compress niya to a certain volume and the pressure is greatly affected. Tumaas ang pressure mo kapag kinompress mo yung volume niya. Now, Pero yung paliwanag niya. The gas from initial state 1 to a final state 2. Ngayon, nasaan ba yung representation yan? Dito, sir. Yan. Okay? Ang ibig ko sabihin, yung volume 2 mo, or volume 1 mo, or kahit ano dyan yung gawing volume 1 mo, kung ito yung initial state, okay? Kung ito yung initial state, ayan, if this is the initial state, and then this is the final state, ibig sabihin, ang nangyari dyan is an expansion. Paano naman, sir? Kung from state 1, this is 1, tumaas yung aking pressure, lumitang aking volume. That is compression. Getting my point? Expansion means, the pressure, bumababa, is going down. The volume is going up. Expansion. Compression. The pressure is going up and the volume is going down. For non-flow work, ibig sabihin, it is a closed system. Wala kang ini-introduce na air, wala kang ini-introduce na gas. Ang ginagawa mo lang is an input work. Ngayon, kapag kinompress mo yan, ibig sabihin, the same pa rin yung gas na yan. Kaya lang, nagbago yung volume, nagbago yung pressure. Either, yung non-flow mo is, a constant volume process or a constant pressure process. But this time, it is represented by a constant pressure process. Paano naman, sir, kapag volume constant process sa non-flow mo? So, this will be constant volume, mas malaki yung volume 1 kaysa volume 2. Okay? So, negative. Ano yan? V. So, negative. Ano yan? Yung representation kanina, integral ng VdP. So, that is volume P2 minus P1 for volume constant process. Ano ba itong constant pressure process? That is isobaric. Discuss natin yan pag gas processes na. This is isovolumic. Isovolumic. Or isometric. Ito, isoplastic, isobaric, pareho lang yun. Okay? Isobaric. Now, for steady flow work. Steady flow work is the work absorbed or produced by a steady flow shaft work machine. The major function of such machines is to promote work input. Yung pump, blower, compressor, kung kayo mechanical engineer, bomba, yung nalagyan nyo ng mga bomba, yung nalagyan nyo ng energy yung fluid mo para umakyat from one place to another. Yung blower, gagawan mo naman ng input yung gas. Yung compressor, i-compress mo yung gas. Or work output naman, yung turbina, ano yung work output? Gagamitin mo yung turbine to utilize the kinetic energy of the water flowing para makapag-produce ka ng electrical energy. Ganon din yung gas turbines, gagamitin mo yung yung power ng gasoline, tapos pass through yung gas. Kukunin ng turbina mo yung kinetic energy of the gas, and then ipoproduce niya into another form of energy, which is electric. Yan. So that is steady flow work. Now, for the first law of thermodynamics, yun na, sinabi ko na kanina, yun nga yung conservation of energy. Ito yung mga dalawa niyang conditions. Tatlo pala. So, 1, for a cyclic process of a closed system, the net heat transfer is equal to the net work. Ano nga ba yun? Net heat. So, Q net is equal to net heat, network. Yan. In any energy form, the sum of the total energy forms leaving the system boundary, including any losses which may have occurred, is always equal to the energy input. Yan. Next one. 3, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Yan, diniscuss ko na nga. So, ito yung mga energy transformations from chemical, nung yung batteries, magiging light. Yung chemical, this is for food, that is measured in calories. Yung calories na yun, yung burn by biking. Electrical, to heat, kino-convert. Ay, chemical, so the burning of the gasoline, it will convert it to kinetic energy or mechanical energy ng yun ng mga sasakyan under combustion. Electrical again to light, and then light to chemical. Ngayon yung photosynthesis ang tawag doon. Much for that, very basic na. Now for non-flow energy equation. The process of a closed system undergoes is called a non-flow. A non-flow, ano yan? Non-flow process and equations formulated such as systems are referred to as non-flow energy equations. Ako, hirap naman yan. Ganito yan. Now, for energy systems, E in is equal to E out. Kung ano yung potential energy in, pinasok mo, 1, plus yung kinetic energy na pumasok dyan, in 1, plus, ano, the internal energy in 1, plus, yung ano, nag-add ka ba ng heat, can be, can do. Wag muna tayo mag-add ng heat and work, ha. So, flow work, so, P1, V1. That will always be equal to the energy out, equal to. Okay, mamaya natin i-add. So, PE2 plus KE2 plus U2 plus P2V2. Ngayon, sir, ganito. I have added heat. Pwede. Dito ka nag-add ng heat. Your heat will be always added on the inlet. Ngayon naman, outlet, that will be produced to work. Plus, work. Hindi natin alam kung positive or negative. But this is the general equation for your flow energy. Yan. Ito yun. Yan. Okay? So, dito, nag-add ka ng heat. Add ka ng heat. And then, work non-flow. Ano ba yung work non-flow? Yung work non-flow mo, non-flow is equal to yung P2 minus P2 V2 minus P1 V1. Yan yun. Work non-flow. Okay? Pag steady flow naman, ito, gawa natin. Meron kang datum level kung saan ito yung 0 point mo. And then, meron kang elevated pipings kung saan mag-change sila. Pag nagkaroon ka ng flow, magka-contain ka ng energy in, energy out, ito. The same with that. Kaya lang, meron kang PE, KE, U, workflow, steady flow, work. Okay? Ginawa mo yung work steady flow, KE, 2, U2, WF, 2. Now, pag ginawa mo equation niya, yan, representing it, yung PE mo, KE, U, workflow 1, and then the heat added, nag-heat ka, addition ng heat, so plus. And then PE2, KE2, U2, workflow, steady flow. The steady flow is the work that is done by the system. By. So that is positive. Then, yan, work steady flow. Now, as you can see dito, note that delta U and the PV are properties of a system, and the combination of UPV called enthalpy has a particular significance in several processes. Therefore, H is equal to U plus PV. Kaya naging ganito. Change niya, delta H. And that ends the discussion ngayon. We will apply this on the next meetings pagdating ng problems in order for you to fully grasp the idea. Mas magandang i-apply natin siya sa ating discussions. And I have to thank the notes done by your page na ME Notes. So, yung mga notes na to, I have to thank him for the notes. Yeah, thank you for the notes, ME Notes. So, subscribe to him, ha? Maganda yung mga notes niya. Lagi kong ginagamit yung iba. Okay? That is prepared by ME Notes na page sa FB. Okay? That will be all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.